We're getting set for game number 2 between Alabama and Mississippi State, second game of this doubleheader. Alabama again trying to keep Mississippi State from winning their first ever series here in Tuscaloosa, and only the third series against Alabama all time in SEC play. Crimson Tide trying to keep that from happening. They'll do it with Jocelyn Brisky back out in the circle here for the second time today. Umpires for today's ball game: Kaylee Young is now moved back behind home plate. Bobby DeMayo over to first, and Sean Shoemaker, the third base umpire. The first inning is presented by the Alabama Department of Public Health. Crimson Tide fans are reminded to stay up to date with all recommended vaccinations, including respiratory virus vaccines. Vaccinations against these viruses are important for everyone, so don't wait. Vaccinate. Visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM today to learn more about how you can stay up to date on vaccinations for you and your family. Alabama now 68-13 all-time against Mississippi State. Alabama had won 7 in a row against the Bulldogs before Mississippi State won game 1 here today. Here at the Rhodes House, Alabama now 29-4 all-time against Mississippi State. Mississippi State's lone wins in single games against Alabama came in 2003, 2013, and 2019 here in Tuscaloosa, and we can add 2025 to that. Alabama will try to keep Mississippi State from winning their first ever series here in Tuscaloosa. The Crimson Tide, everybody went back into the clubhouse for the between game meeting with the coaching staff. Andrew Murphy emerges and puts out a very similar lineup here in game number 2, because offensively, yeah, you only scored the 1 run. You did have the 8 hits. Alabama was applying pressure every inning, just could not get the big hit when they needed it. So I think you feel pretty good about where the lineup is if you're Alabama. It's just got to keep Mississippi State from putting up all the offensive production they were able to do in game number 1, and that started with Sierra Sacco, leadoff hitter and center fielder for Mississippi State, who was 2 for 3 with a walk, an RBI, and 3 runs scored, and reached on an error in her other at-bat, so she was on base 4 times for Mississippi State in game number 1. Here comes the first pitch from Jocelyn Brisky, and it's in there for a called strike. That was a big story as well, as Brisky, I believe the final number was she only got ahead of 2 batters in her 2 innings of work in game number 1. The 0-1, foul back. No balls and 2 strikes. Well, the weather forecast for tomorrow is certainly not good. It is a beautiful day here today. Wind blowing out to left field, 82 degrees at first pitch. Sunny skies. The 0-2 is high. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Sacco. The 1-2. That's a ground ball, slow roller to third. Elstad will have to hurry. The throw is not in time, and it gets past Dukeshire. And now sliding in safely at second is Sacco. And I believe that will be a hit and an error for the leadoff hitter, Sierra Sacco.
Third baseman number 10, Nadia Barbary.
The throw from Elstad, 1-hop Dukeshire, and she totally missed it. It'll be an E5 to get her to second on the infield hit for Sacco, and Nadia Barbary steps in. The first pitch to her is lined to right, and coming in to score is going to be Sacco. The throw comes in, and out at second is Barbary, trying to stretch that into a double, but it does bring in a run. And Mississippi State leads at 1-0 quickly here in the first inning. It's a great job by Pruitt going to a slide to keep that ball from getting all the way to the fence. And a great throw by Pruitt, tagged by Hawkins, and there's one gone. Ground ball to Hawkins, first pitch to Sells. And the throw is in time, and there's 2 away. So that's an RBI single for Barbary.
Catcher number 22, Jesse Blaine.
9-6 on the putout. Two gone now for the catcher, Jesse Blaine. First pitch is a little bit low for ball one. Blaine on the year, batting .390, 23 of 59, 17 runs scored, 6 doubles, a triple, a homer, and 15 runs driven in. 3 for 4 in game number 1 with 3 RBIs. Called strike, 1-1, including her first homer of the year for the Auburn transfer. 1-1, outside, 2-1. 200 down the lines, 220 to straightaway center field, 6-foot wall all the way around in the outfield here at Rhodes Stadium. That one comes in high, 3-1. And it's what happens a lot of times in the second game of a doubleheader, especially when game number 1 did not go the way that Alabama wanted it to. The crowd thinned out a little bit here for the second game. 3-1, fouled off at the plate. And the count is now full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Three-two comes in high for ball 4, and Jesse Blaine will draw the 2-out walk to keep this first inning alive for Mississippi State. The run as it stands right now is unearned. It can become earned depending on what happens here the rest of the inning. Kylie Edwards steps in. First pitch, right in there for a called strike. Edwards batting .311, 23 of 74, 16 runs scored with 6 doubles, 6 homers, and 19 RBIs. 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a run scored earlier today, including a homer, as that one comes in a bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hard hit ball to short. Hawkins to her knees, makes the stop. The underhand throw to second in time to get Blaine and retire the side. For Mississippi State, here in the first inning, they get 1 run on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 1 left. We played a half inning. Mississippi State 1, Alabama coming to bat here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Mississippi State with a 1-0 lead over Alabama. Here is the Alabama Power starting lineup for the Crimson Tide. They are now 20-8 overall, 0-1 in SEC play. They are 12-3 here at the Rhodes House this season. After the loss earlier today to Mississippi State, Audrey Vandegrift, the left fielder, will lead things off with Larissa Pruitt, the right fielder, batting second. Lex Papillo, Desiree Player, batting third. Abby Dukeshire, first base, bats fourth. Batting fifth is Callie Hevlin, the second baseman. Brooke Ellistad, third base, batting sixth. Batting seventh and catching, Marley Giles. Batting eighth is the shortstop, Salem Hawkins, and Kristen White, the center fielder, will bat ninth. They'll face in the circle for Mississippi State the left-handed sophomore from Oakdale, California, Delaney Everett. Everett on the year with a .58 ERA and a 4-0 record, 10th appearance, 5th start. She does not have a complete game. She's pitched 24 innings, 19 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned. She's walked 4, struck out 19. Opponents batting .218 against Everett on the year. And the first pitch to Audrey Vandegrift is in there for a called strike. Been dealing with some injuries, so maybe on a pitch count here today is Everett. In limited action, though, has pitched well for the Bulldogs. Vandegrift swings and misses, no balls and 2 strikes. Vandegrift batting .429, 33 of 77, 27 runs scored, 3 doubles, 2 triples, a homer, 15 runs driven in, was 1 for 4 with a couple of Ks in game number 1. 2 high and away, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Vandegrift lines this to center, and that's going to fall for a base hit. And a leadoff single for the Tide freshman gets things started here for Alabama as they try to answer back after Mississippi State plated a run in the top of the first inning. And we'll bring up now Larissa Pruitt. First pitch, pulls back the bunt, takes it high for ball 1. Pruitt batting .359, 28 of 78, 23 runs scored, 4 doubles, a triple, a homer, and 17 runs driven in. Puts down a bunt down the first base line, but it will spin foul for strike 1, 1-1. Pruitt was 2 for 4 with a run scored in game number 1. The defensive alignment for Mississippi State: Bernardini in left, Sacco in center, Sells in right, Barbary at third, Edwards at short, Stiles at second, Hull at first, with Blaine behind the plate catching Everett. Sosa is a designated player. Pruitt pulls back the bunt, comes in high, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch comes in high, 3 balls and a strike now on Pruitt. Pruitt reaches down, fouls this one away, and the count's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch, fouled away on a hit and run. Do it again. 3-2. Another 3-2. Pruitt fouls this one off, this time down the right field line. It's another battling at bat by Larissa Pruitt. Eighth pitch of the at bat about to be thrown. Everett asked for time, resetting everything. Now 3-2. Ground ball up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. Vandegrift will take a deep. Oh, she stumbles going around second and will be tagged out at second base. It's just unfortunately been one of those type of days for Alabama all day. Vandegrift took too big of a turnaround second and stumbled trying to get back onto the second base bag. And the throw from center field came in. And I think Patrick Murphy's going to challenge whether or not Vandegrift was actually tagged in time. Because looking at the replay, it was a quick glance from me, but it looked like the swipe tag by Edwards may have initially missed Vandegrift. And Patrick Murphy is going to make a challenge here in this replay review, brought to you by the Weekend Warm-Up. If you love behind-the-scenes stories from Coach Murphy, you won't want to miss the Weekend Warm-Up on select Fridays this season. Inspired by Nick at Noon, the softball edition at Baumhauer's Victory Grill features a lunch buffet, Alabama softball bingo, a panel with Team 29 players and alumni, and unforgettable insight from Coach Murphy. Check out Alabama softball's social media pages for more details. There was a Weekend Warm-Up scheduled for today, but with the change of schedule of the game time, that has been rescheduled. And Vandegrift may have gotten her hand in there before Edwards was able to apply the tag. The tag kind of came to her back and her backside. Now they said that the tag was applied. So that's going to be a single for Pruitt. But then, after overrunning second base, Vandegrift is tagged out. And we'll bring up Lex Papillo. So one out with a runner on first. Bama still trying to answer back after Mississippi State scored a run in the top of the first. First pitch to Papillo. Misses inside for ball one. Papillo batting .378, 28 of 74 with 18 runs scored, 5 doubles, a triple, 6 homers, and 27 runs driven in. That's going to be a base hit down the left field line. Pruitt will stay at second, and 3 straight singles for Alabama to start off the first inning. But now with the out made on the base paths, Alabama has runners on first and second with 1 out for Abby Dukeshire. First pitch, Dukes with a line drive. That's going to fall for a base hit over the left fielder's, over the shortstop's head into left field. There's a blooper that fell, and now Alabama has the bases loaded on 4 straight singles. Mississippi State has the 1-0 lead, but it's a tenuous lead for the Bulldogs as Callie Hevlin will now step up. And a big chance for the senior as that will result in a meeting in the circle. Taryn Mowat-McKinney, the pitching coach for Mississippi State, coming out to talk with Delaney Everett. Alabama has not ripped these singles, but they have fallen. Papillo's was probably the best hit ball down the third base and left field line. And now Samantha Ricketts will come out to talk with the infield for Mississippi State. Callie Hevlin batting .373, 25 of 67, 20 runs scored, a double, 2 triples, 10 homers, and 25 runs driven in for Hevlin. Most home runs for an Alabama batter in non-conference play before the SEC season has started, since Bailey Hemphill had 9 in 2019. Entering today, Hevlin one of 13 players in the nation with double-digit homers, and is 3 behind the leaders, who are tied at 13. And a big chance for it here. Bases loaded, 1 out. The first pitch is a called strike. In game 1 today, Hevlin was 1 for 2 with a walk. Had a double to right field. That wind blowing straight out, 15 to 20 miles an hour. Get it up in the jet stream, it'll go a long way. That one's fouled away. No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2. Oh, is low and away, and a great diving stop by Blaine behind home plate to save a run. As that one crossed her up big time. She wanted it low and away, but not that low and away. 1-2. Hevlin, fly ball to deep center field. Ranging back and making the catch is Sacco, but tagging up from third is going to be Pruitt. She will score, and the sacrifice fly RBI by Callie Hevlin will tie things up. It's now 1-1. The other two runners on base did not move, so now runners on first and second, 2 outs for the third baseman, Brooke Elistad. First pitch. Inside, almost hit her for ball 1. Elistad batting .360, 27 of 75, 12 runs scored with 2 doubles, a triple, 5 homers, 22 runs driven in. Was 0 for 3 against State in game number 1. That's a called strike, 1-1. Elistad with a fly ball to right, and that's going to be down. Ball bounced out of the glove. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Elistad digs for third, where she will stand up. The ball is slow coming in, but Elistad will stay at third, but Bama takes the 3-1 lead as Sells' dive comes up empty. And Brooke Elistad, a 2 RBI triple. Bama leads at 3-1. Sells laid out and couldn't find the ball. I don't think she knew it was not in her glove for a second. It was in her glove and bounced out. She thought it was still in her glove. Not that it mattered a whole lot. Elistad was going to reach third regardless. But Brooke Elistad, with her second triple of the season, gives Alabama the 3-1 lead, and Marley Giles will come to the plate. First pitch to Giles is a fly ball to center. On the run is going to be Sacco. She'll make the catch for out number 3 to retire the side. But a break finally goes Alabama's way in this doubleheader as the Crimson Tide scores 3 runs on 5 hits. No errors, nobody left. We played an inning. It's 3-1 Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Alabama has their first lead of this doubleheader as they score 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning, and the Crimson Tide leads at 3-1 over Mississippi State. The second inning is presented by the Bryant Museum, located on the UA campus just across from Coleman Coliseum. Open every day 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., except Mondays. Access online at bryantmuseum.edu. The 2 RBI triple by Brooke Ellisad gives Alabama the 3-1 lead. Due up for the Bulldogs here in the second will be Sosa, Bernardini, and Hull, 6, 7, 8. And Jocelyn Brisky back out now for her second inning of work in this game. Designated player Lexi Sosa, right-handed hitting, steps in, and here comes the first pitch from Brisky. Hit the inside corner for a called strike. Sosa batting .264, 19 of 72 with 15 runs scored. 3 doubles, leads the team with 8 homers and 25 runs driven in. It was 0 for 2 with a walk in game number 1. That pitch misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 misses inside. 2-1. Alabama's head coach is Patrick Murphy. He's in his 27th season as the Alabama head man. An Alabama head coaching record: 1,297 victories, 383 losses, a .772 winning percentage for the national champion and Hall of Famer. That pitch comes in low, 3-1. Assistant coach is Caleb Rowe. The pitching coach, Lance McMahon. The hitting coach is Adam Arbor. Coordinator of player development, Ryan Iamurray. Director of softball operations is Jaden Spencer. The 3-1. Low for ball 4, and a leadoff walk issued to Sosa to start off the inning. Athletic trainer is AC Atinka. Strength and conditioning coach is Michelle Diltz. Sports information director Nathan Sheehan. Video director Scott Moyer. Equipment manager for the Crimson Tide is Sue Moore, and the photographer is Kent Gidley. Morgan Bernardini is the batter. First pitch. Low for ball 1. Bernardini batting .356, 26 of 73, 18 runs scored with 5 doubles, 3 homers, 19 runs driven in. Was 1 for 4, an RBI and a run scored with a solo homer in game number 1. Called strike, 1-1. For Mississippi State, their head coach is Samantha Rickett. She's in her sixth season in Starkville as the head coach. Associate head coach Tyler Bratton. Assistant coach and pitching coach Taryn Moet McKinney. And assistant coach is Zach Shaw. The 1-1. Chopper to short. Backing up is Hawkins. She'll throw to second for 1. And the Tide turns the double play. Taylor made 6-4-3 double play for the Crimson Tide. Alabama has now turned a league-leading 15 double plays on the year. And that was a big one here to erase the leadoff walk. Riley Hull steps in, and that's in there for a called strike. Nice job by Dukeshire as well to dig out the throw from Hevlin. So that ball comes in low on Hull. No balls and 2 strikes. Hull batting .242, 15 of 62, 14 runs scored with 2 doubles, 5 RBIs. 0 for 2 yesterday, or 0 for 2 earlier today. That one comes in low, 2-1. Tide still in the all-white uniforms, the white jerseys with crimson script Bama across the chest, white pants, and crimson socks. 2-1. Chopper back to Brisky in the circle. She makes a stop in the throw. And after the leadoff walk, a double play and a ground out. And Mississippi State sends up the minimum here in the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left. We head to the bottom of the second. 3-1 Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We head to the home half of the second inning. Alabama with a 3-1 lead over Mississippi State. The second inning is presented by the Bryant Museum, located on the UA campus just across from Coleman Coliseum, open every day 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. except Mondays. Access online at bryantmuseum.com. Tied with a 3-1 lead. 3 runs on 5 hits. Bama in the first inning. Mississippi State with a run on 2 hits so far. And Alabama will send up 8-9-1 here in the second, starting with Salin Hawkins, the former Mississippi State Bulldogs, facing Delaney Everett in the circle for State. Hawkins batting .286, 14 of 49 with 11 runs scored, a double and 4 RBIs. Was 1 for 3 in game number 1 earlier today. First pitch. Misses high for ball 1. Mississippi State in the maroon over white uniforms, the maroon jerseys with State in white script across the chest, white pants, white socks with white stirrups. Hawkins with a 2-hopper to first. Hull gloves it, steps on the bag for out number 1.
Center fielder number 3, Kristen White.
That will bring up the 9-hole hitter, Kristen White, tied center fielder. Batting .370, 20 of 54, 18 runs scored with 4 RBIs. 2 for 3 in game number 1 earlier today. First pitch, hit the outside corner for a called strike. Game 3 of the series between the Tide and Mississippi State still set for Sunday at 1:30, 1:15 the airtime here on the network. It will be Callie Hevlin's senior day. Large portion of Three Rivers, Michigan in town for this weekend. That one misses outside, 1-1. Fortunately, they'll get to see some deep south weather tomorrow. Everybody hunker down, stay safe, and we'll be back here on Sunday. The 1-1. Slap foul. Got a piece of Kayla Young behind home plate. She says she's all right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Coming up at the top of the hour, elsewhere on the Crimson Tide Sports Network, Alabama baseball. The Tide in College Station taking on Texas A&M to open up the SEC schedule for Alabama baseball. That one's just fouled down the third base line. Count remains 1-2. We'll keep you up to date when that one gets underway. And a little bit later on this evening, Alabama men's basketball in the SEC tournament taking on Kentucky. 7:30 will be the airtime. And we'll see when the tip-off will actually happen. 1-2, line back up the middle, down for a base hit. Third hit of the ball game for K-Dub. Or third hit of the day, I should say, for K-Dub. Alabama now with a runner on. 1 out, back to top of the order, and Audrey Vandergriff. Vandergriff started the 4 straight singles to start off the ball game in the first. First pitch fouled away for strike 1. Infield playing Vandergriff to bunt, but she was swinging away there. Barbary now mulling her options at third base. The 0-1 fouled off at the plate. No balls and 2 strikes on Vandergriff, freshman from Bogart, Georgia. Nation's leader in stolen bases entering today's play. Vandergriff with a fly ball to left center field, ranging over to make the catch is Sacco for out number 2. Bama men's basketball swept 2 games in the regular season series against Kentucky and is looking for their first ever 3-game winning streak against Kentucky, trying to win 3 games against the Wildcats for the first time in program history. Marissa Pruitt steps up, and the first pitch to her is to the backstop. Kristen White will move to second with a wild pitch. Another one where Blaine was expecting it high, but not that high. So now runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Pruitt singled and scored her first time. Takes that one high and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Pruitt with a fly ball to left. There to make the play is Bernardini for out number 3 to retire the side. So Alabama could get a runner in scoring position here in the second, but couldn't get her in. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We played 2. It's Alabama 3, Mississippi State 1 here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The third inning is presented by Bojangles, the new and improved Bojangles app. Bring the flavor to your tailgate with chicken, biscuits, and fixings by downloading the Bojangles app to order ahead for tailgates and whenever it's bow time. It's not a tailgate without Bojangles. We head to the top of the third inning. Alabama with a 3-1 lead over Mississippi State. 9-1-2 due up for the Bulldogs here. Styles, Sacco, and Barbary against Shawson Brisky in the circle for the Crimson Tide. And Bama struggles against the 9-hole. Has been an issue for the Crimson Tide this year. First pitch to Morgan Styles is a called strike, which is great to see. Alabama on the year against the 9-hole. The 9-hole's batting .218 with 5 RBIs, a triple, 3 doubles. They've been walked 12 times, 14 Ks and 11 runs scored. As that one comes in low. 1 ball, 1 strike, and it was Styles in game number 1 in the second inning. After 2 were out pretty easily in that second inning, drew a 2-out walk, and then Mississippi State got a double and a single after that to score 2 runs. And that's a fly ball to center field. On the run is White. She will track it down to make the catch for out number 1, and Alabama trying to buck the trend of the 9-hole hurting. And they do it there for the first out of the inning as we go back to the top of the order, and Sierra Sacco. She singled in the first and scored on an error. The only run in the game so far for Mississippi State. First pitch fouled away for strike 1. Speaking of bucking trends, as we talk a little bit more about Alabama and Kentucky in the SEC tournament, Kentucky has eliminated Alabama from the SEC tournament 8 times since 2006. The 0-1 is low and away, 1 ball, 1 strike, but have never faced Nate Oates in the SEC tournament. So the trends looking to be bucked all over the place. The 1-1. Sacco takes it low, 2-1. Be sure to catch Hey Coach and the Nate Oates Show, presented by Alpha Insurance, live from Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Tuscaloosa on Monday nights, 6 to 7 p.m. Central Time, right here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. The 2-1 is a little bit low. 3 balls and 1 strike now on Sacco. In addition to that, Crimson Tide Sports Network coverage continues with Crimson Drive Thursday afternoons on all Crimson Tide Sports Network social media outlets. Crimson Drive is live each Thursday at 2 p.m. Central Time, so be sure to join host Roger Hoover for the latest on Alabama athletics. The 3-1 is in there for a strike, and the count is now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Sierra Sacco. Payoff pitch on its way from Brisky, and that one, did that hit her? She's down on first. One way or another. Ball got away from Giles behind home plate, and I didn't hit her, but that was ball 4. So Sacco now, she had already extended her on-base streak. She's now reached base 25 straight games. First pitch to Barbary. That's a fly ball to right. On the run is Pruitt, and she will not be able to make the play, but she touched it in foul ground. It's a foul ball. Pruitt tried to track that one down, was unable to make the catch. She did touch it, but she was in foul territory when she touched it. So it is a foul ball. Wasn't by much, but the glove was in foul territory. Bobby DeMayo, the first base umpire, making the call. The 0-1. Ground ball to third. Elstad has it. Will throw to second, and Hevlin is unable to make the catch as Elstad's throw was low. Probably wasn't going to be able to turn the double play, but would have been able to get the lead runner. But the second error of the ball game by the Crimson Tide now puts runners on first and second with 1 away. 2 errors by Alabama, both throwing errors by Brooke Elstad. Kiara Sells now the batter. She's 0 for 1, grounded out her first time. Junior from Jasper, Texas. First pitch misses for ball 1. One of 2 Sells sisters on the team. Her younger sister, Kalani Sells, a freshman on the squad. The 1-0. That just missed. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's where Alabama has to stop the snowball. A walk and now an error, putting runners on first and second, 1 out. And Lance Mann's going to come out to talk things over with Jocelyn Brisky. Time for a scoreboard update brought to you by the Out of the Box Podcast. Check out the latest episode of the Out of the Box Podcast, part of the Softball America Podcast Network. Wherever you get your podcast, give us a follow at OutofTheBox_pod on the X. Like, subscribe, and share. Taking a look at some finals that are in the top 25 and featuring SEC teams. In 5 innings, Virginia Tech run-ruled Louisville 10-0. Ole Miss with a 5-inning run-rule victory over Samford, 10-0. That pitch is in there for a strike. 2-1 now on Sells. Also the Rebel Invitational in Oxford, Iowa State beat Samford 5-4. Michigan beat Princeton in the Missouri Invitational 8-4, and Rutgers over Maryland 5-1. So that one misses high. 3 balls and 1 strike. They are in. Well, just gone final, I believe, actually. In 9 innings, Duke walks off Syracuse 3-1. 3-1 pitch to Sells is high for ball 4. And now the bases are loaded with 1 out for Mississippi State. Alabama leads it 3-1, but now the Bulldogs have an opportunity with Jessie Blaine, who's had a good day so far for the Bulldogs. Walked her first time here in this game after going 3 for 4 in game 1 to the plate. First pitch to her is a called strike. Bottom of the 4th in Knoxville, Tennessee leads UConn 6-1. Boston College and Virginia tied up at 1 in the bottom of the 5th. The 0-1 pitch. Blaine with a ground ball to short. Hawkins will throw to second for 1, and Bama turns another double play. 16th of the season, second of the day, and Mississippi State cannot cash in with the bases loaded here in the 3rd inning. For the Bulldogs, no runs, no hits. There was 1 error and 2 runners left on base. We move to the bottom of the 3rd, still 3-1 Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Alabama with a 3-1 lead over Mississippi State. The Tide has turned 2 double plays in this ball game, keeping the Bulldogs to just the 1 run. The 3rd inning is presented by Bojangles, the new and improved Bojangles app. Bring the flavor to your tailgate with chicken, biscuits, and fixings by downloading the Bojangles app to order ahead for tailgates and whenever it's bow time. It's not a tailgate without Bojangles. Due up for the Tide here in the 3rd, it'll be Papillo, Dukeshire, and Hevlin. 3-4-5. Delaney Everett, back out for her 3rd inning of work for Mississippi State. Alexa Pillow singled and scored her first time. Junior from Crystal Lake, Illinois, the transfer from Northern Iowa, steps in. Left-handed hitting, the first pitch. Ground ball to second. Styles gloves it, makes a throw. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 3rd. Bring up the junior from Kindred, North Dakota, Abby Dukeshire. Dukeshire singled and scored her first time. Continuing the scoreboard update, an SEC game. They're in the top of the 4th in Baton Rouge. LSU with a 4-1 lead over Kentucky. Dukeshire fouls that one away for strike 1. That is the SEC season opener for LSU. Kentucky coming off of the 3-game sweep over Missouri. The 0-1. Dukeshire pops it up and ranging over in foul ground. Despite being collided with by Blaine, Everett will make that catch for out number 2. Dukeshire just jammed by 1 high and tight. And Everett really the only one who could make that play coming out of the circle. She made the catch. Too quickly, 2 gone for Callie Hevlin. First pitch low away for ball 1. Hevlin started the scoring in the 1st inning at a sacrifice fly to tie things up at 1 before the 2 RBI triple by Brooke Elistad gave Alabama the 3-1 lead in the 1st. They still hold on to. Hevlin pulls back the bunt. It's called strike 1-1. At Auburn, the Tigers have a 3-0 lead over Texas A&M. Surprising score in game number 1 there. That one's low and away. 2 balls and a strike. Auburn coming off of being swept by this Mississippi State team this past weekend. A&M got a game from Florida, but lost that series 2-1 in College Station. Hevlin lines this to left center field. That's going to fall into the gap up against the wall. Hevlin will round first and slide into second with a 2-out double. And Callie Hevlin her second double in as many games, keeps this inning alive with the extra base hit here in the third inning. Hearing it from the friends and family in attendance here from Michigan. As Brooke Ellisad is the batter. She had the 2 RBI triple her first time. First pitch, called strike. In Columbia, South Carolina, Georgia with a 4-0 lead over South Carolina. The Gamecocks swept last weekend but lost all games by 1 run to Oklahoma, then lost to Coastal Carolina in the midweek. Down 4-0 to Georgia here in the second. That one's popped up to shallow center. Sacco will charge in to make the catch for out number 3 to retire the side. Alabama gets a 2-out double by Callie Hevlin, but cannot get a run across here in the third. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We played 3-1 Crimson Tide here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We head to the fourth inning. Alabama with a 3-1 lead over Mississippi State. Due up for the Bulldogs here in the fourth. It'll be Edwards, Sosa, and Bernardini. 5, 6, 7. Jocelyn Brisky back out now for her fourth inning of work. The fourth inning is presented by Nukes. At Nukes, your food is always made to order in an open kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Visit them locally on University Boulevard or order online at nukes.com. Nukes is a proud supporter of Alabama softball. Brisky so far has gone 3 innings, giving up 2 hits, 1 run, which was unearned, 4 walks, and no strikeouts. 45 pitches, 23 strikes thrown by Brisky so far here in this game. She has benefited from a couple of great defensive plays by Alabama as the Crimson Tide, despite having 2 errors in the game, has turned 2 double plays and limited the Mississippi State offense so far here today. Finishing off that Out of the Box podcast scoreboard update, they're in the bottom of the second inning. Florida State with a 5-0 lead over Pittsburgh. Bottom of the second in a Big 12 matchup, Arizona with a 3-0 lead over Utah. They're in the bottom of the first in the second of a doubleheader in Louisville in the ACC. Virginia Tech with a 3-2 lead over the Cardinals. Notre Dame with a 1-0 lead over NC State. First pitch to Kylie Edwards is a fly ball to right field. Pruitt is there. She'll make the catch in the gap for out number 1. Bottom of the first, no score between Arizona State and UCF. Bottom of the second, Clemson leads North Carolina 2-0. California with a 1-0 lead over Georgia Tech. Tech coming off of the midweek victory over Auburn in walk-off fashion. First pitch to Lexi Sosa is a called strike. They're in between sessions in the SEC men's basketball tournament. The 0-1 pitch to Sosa, low, 1-1. Auburn beat Ole Miss 62-57, and it was Tennessee over Texas 83-72. As both teams so far with the double byes have come through to advance to semifinal action. As that pitch to Sosa is high, 2 balls and 1 strike. Here it's 3-1, Alabama with the lead over Mississippi State. The Tide out hitting the Bulldogs 7-2 so far here in the game. The 2-1 fouled away. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Sosa. Sosa, the native of San Diego, California, the transfer from UCLA. Was in the transfer portal a couple of years ago as a pitcher only, but has now emerged as one of the key bats for Mississippi State. That ball's popped up on the infield. Hevlin makes the catch at second base for the second out. Now we'll bring up the left fielder, Morgan Bernardini. She hit into the first of two double plays that the Bulldogs have grounded into today. Back in the second inning. Now the umpire, Kayla Young, goes out to talk things over with Brisky and Marley Giles. And I think we talked about it before. Jocelyn Brisky works very fast. And I think she was telling Brisky, take an extra beat there. Let everybody get in the batter's box before you go into your windup. First pitch. Grounded foul for strike one. In that first game, Chafin for Mississippi State would take the pitch clock all the way down to a couple of seconds left. Brisky routinely pitches it with about 15 seconds on the clock. That one just a little bit low, 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 to Bernardini. Called strike, 1-2. Bernardini is a junior from Elkville, Illinois. Two comes in high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 out, nobody on here in the fourth inning. Bama leads at 3-1. Tide trying to get the split in this doubleheader. Force the rubber match on Sunday. 2-2 pitch is a ground ball to third. The bare hand by Elistad. The throw is not going to be in time, and Bernardini hit that one right off the end of the bat on one that came in and jammed her. And the infield single keeps the inning alive here in the fourth for the Bulldogs.
First baseman number 4, Riley Hall.
First pitch to Riley Hull. Called strike, may have gone too far around on a check swing anyway for strike one. Hull grounded out her first time. Senior from Somerset, Kentucky. The 0-1. This one's grounded to third, backhanded by Elistad, and she is unable to get it in the glove. And that's going to be the third error of the ball game by Alabama, all by Brooke Elistad. Runners now on the corners with 2 outs. I think Brooke had a little bit more time than she thought she did there. Maybe didn't have to backhand that one. And Lance McMahon's going to come out and talk things over with Jocelyn Brisky. Because again, it's the 9-hole. It's been a problem for Alabama all year. Went through all the numbers the last time the 9-hole was up. Now the 2-out error keeps this inning alive. Kayla Bro is out talking with Elistad. And Samantha Ricketts talking things over with the home plate umpire. See if there's a pinch running situation for Mississippi State, and I believe, yes, there will be. Out on first base, Kalani Sells will be the runner.
Attention please, pitch running for Mississippi State, number 42, Kalani Sells.
And Morgan Stiles will be the batter. First pitch. Inside for ball 1. So you have Sells on second, Hull on first. 2 outs. And the 9-hole Stiles at the plate. 1-0. And that one is lined in the right center field gap, and that's going to get all the way to the wall. 1 run will definitely score. Here comes the second run, and she will score as well. And the 2 RBI double by Morgan Stiles ties things up at 3 here in the top of the fourth inning. All 3 runs scored by Mississippi State have been unearned so far here today. Back to the top of the order, and Sierra Sacco. First pitch. Lined up the middle, that's down for a base hit. Stiles will score, and the Bulldogs lead it now 4-3. And the snowball continues against Alabama. Sierra Sacco, in 7 plate appearances in this ball game, has reached base in all 7 times. She's been walked twice, 3 singles, a double, and she reached on an error. Marley Giles comes out with a quick pep talk for Jocelyn Brisky, as Alabama has to try to get out of this inning. Nadia Barbary to the plate, 1 for 2. RBI single in the first, fielder's choice in the third. First pitch. Went too far around on a check swing. Yep, she did go. On the rise ball, 0-1. No one pitches inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. With a loss earlier today, Alabama now 18-4 all time on March 14th. The 1-1. High, 2-1. Bama had won 5 in a row on this date before that loss earlier today to Mississippi State, trying to not go on a 2-game losing streak here on this date. As that one's popped up, foul ground back behind home plate, and it will go about 4 rows deep, back behind the backstop. 2-2 the count now on Barbary. Two is inside, bounces away, but Sacco is going with the pitch, so she'll get the stolen base. Count now 3-2. Payoff pitch. Barbary pops this one up. The shallow left, charging in is Vandegrift. She'll make the catch for out number 3 to retire the side, but Alabama takes advantage, Mississippi State takes advantage of the Alabama error, and they score 3 unearned runs here in the 4th. 3 runs on 3 hits. There was 1 error and 1 left. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Now 4-3 Mississippi State here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from their field. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Mississippi State with a 4-3 lead over Alabama. The 4th inning is presented by Nukes. At Nukes, your food is always made to order in an open kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Visit them locally on University Boulevard or order online at nukes.com. Nukes is a proud supporter of Alabama softball. New pitcher for Mississippi State as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. And with this call to the bullpen, remind you that Alabama softball is brought to you by Barkley GMC, the best place to buy a vehicle in Tuscaloosa and proud sponsors of the Crimson Tide. Visit barkleygmc.com today. Barkley makes it easy. The new pitcher for Mississippi State is the right-handed junior from Grimes, Iowa, Josie Marin. Marin on the year, a 5.35 ERA and a 2-3 record. 14th appearance of the season. She's pitched 35 in the third innings, 32 hits, 32 runs, 27 earned. She's walked 24, struck out 31. Opponents batting .235 against Marin on the year. Sales is staying in the ball game. She is now in left field, so you have Sales on the corner outfields for Mississippi State. Josie Marin is the new pitcher. Marin comes in replacing Delaney Everett. Everett went 3 innings, gave up 7 hits, 3 runs that were all earned, no walks and no strikeouts. She threw 45 pitches and 32 strikes. And now we'll give way to Josie Marin, who has had her struggles here today. Alabama, or had her struggles here this season. Alabama, they can make the adjustments. Will look to answer back after Mississippi State took the 4-3 lead with a 3-run 4th inning. The first pitch to Marley Giles is a called strike. Bottom of the order due up for the Crimson Tide here, 7, 8, 9. Giles, Hawkins, and White. Giles is 0 for 1 with a fly out. That one comes in high. 1 ball, 1 strike now on Giles. One, swung on a miss, a ball and 2 strikes. State with 4 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and 4 left. Bama with 3 runs on 7 hits, 3 errors, and 3 runners left on base. All 4 of the runs scored by Mississippi State have been unearned in this game. The 1-2 is low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two. Giles lines this to right. That's down for a base hit. And Marley Giles will lead off single as the Tide looks to answer back here and respond. Marley standing on first with Saylon Hawkins stepping up. Hawkins, the sophomore from Phoenix, Arizona, the transfer from Mississippi State. With an opportunity here. Nobody out runner on first. She grounded out her first time. Marin will call timeout. Reset everything. First pitch. Hawkins puts a bunt down. First base line. The throw is just in time from Hull. Styles covering from second, but the sacrifice does move the runner into scoring position here with 1 out. And that will bring up Kristen White. White with the infield single, her first time. Excuse me, that was a line drive to center, actually, now I think about it. First pitch comes in high for ball 1. That one dropped in for a called strike, 1-1. That one drops in too low, 2-1 now on White. White slaps that one foul. 2-2. White swings and misses at strike 3. And there's now 2 gone.
Left fielder number 12, Aubrey Vanderbilt.
Alabama last season only had 8 hits in SEC play in 4 games. Audrey Vandergriff swings and misses at strike 1. They've now had 8 hits in both games so far here today. So again, the hits are there. 1, it's outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Vandergriff's 1 for 2, singled in the first, a fly out in the second. Outside, 2-1. Going outside again, 3 balls and 1 strike now in Vandergriff. 2 outs with a runner on second. Bama trails by 1, trying to respond after Mississippi State took the lead in the top of the 4th. 3-1, Vandergriff fouls it off. Counts full, 3-2. Payoff, low and away for ball 4. So Vandergriff draws the walk, putting now runners on first and second with 2 outs for Larissa Pruitt. Pruitt singled and scored in the first, had a fly out in the second. And here with 2 outs, an opportunity to respond. First pitch is a called strike. The back door is in over the outside corner. Called strike again, 0-2. Marissa takes a little walk after that one. The 0-2, Pruitt fouls it off. Stays alive at 0-2. Larissa batting .419 on the season. The runners in scoring position. Another 0-2. Pruitt grounds that to deep short. Edwards will make the stop to keep it on the infield. But now the bases are loaded with 2 outs. A diving stop there by Edwards kept that ball from getting in the outfield and probably keeping Giles from scoring on that play. But now the bases are loaded with 2 outs for your RBI leader, Lex Papillo. Papillo 1 for 2 on the day. Singled and scored back in the first, grounded out in the third. But a big chance for the Northern Iowa transfer to really make her mark here in SEC play. First pitch. Low and away, ball one. Obviously you want to put up a big number here, but a walk will tie the game up if you're Papillo, so don't want to chase anything. 1-0. Called strike on the outside corner. 1-1. Papillo batting .400 on the season with the bases loaded. Takes that one high, 2-1. Two-one came in, almost hit her. 3-1 the count. Papillo fouls it away. Into the Bama dugout. Counts now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Runners will get a head start. Payoff pitch to Papillo. Low for ball 4. Papillo draws the RBI walk, and we're tied up at 4 here in the 4th inning. Way back in our pregame interview before game number 1, Patrick Murphy was talking about what Alabama did offensively against South Alabama. Really liked how the Crimson Tide took what the opposition gave them against the Jaguars and did it there. As Josie Marin, who has had her struggles this season, walks in the tying run. The bases are still loaded with 2 outs for Abby Dukeshire. Taryn Mowat-McKinney comes out to talk things over with Josie Marin. Samantha Ricketts doesn't get all the way out to the circle, just make sure the defense knows what they're doing on the infield. And Abby Dukeshire will step up. Duke is 1 for 2 on the day, singled and scored in the first and fouled out in the third. Now the bases loaded, 2 outs, an opportunity to put up a big number. First pitch, high for ball 1. Also, just like Papillo, don't give anything away. Low, 2 balls and no strikes. Aaron calls timeout. Lexi Sosa is warming up in the Mississippi State bullpen. Would not think that Rylan Chafin would be available. She pitched 121 pitches in game 1. 2-0. Drops in for a called strike. 2-1. I can see her coming in a save situation, maybe in the 6th or the 7th, but if a pitching change is made, I would think it would be Sosa. 2-1, comes in low. 3 balls and 1 strike now on Dukeshire. And nowhere to put her. Walk would give Alabama the lead. They've already responded with 1 to tie things up. The 3-1. Duke takes it high for ball 4. And Abby Dukeshire gets the second RBI walk of the inning. And Alabama has taken a 5-4 lead. Vandegrift will score. Pruitt to third. Papillo to second with Dukeshire on first. That one didn't miss by a whole lot, but yeah, it stayed a bit too high. Right over the middle of the plate, but high. So 2 outs now. The base is loaded for Callie Hevlin. Timeout, and we are going to see a change in the circle for Mississippi State. Alabama's taken the 5-4 lead here in the home half of the 4th inning. The bases are still loaded with 2 outs. We'll tell you about the new Bulldog pitcher after this here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Bases loaded, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Alabama with a 5-4 lead. And the new pitcher for Mississippi State is the right-handed graduate from San Diego, California, the transfer from UCLA, Lexi Sosa. And she's in to face Callie Hevlin with the bases loaded and 2 outs. First pitch, called strike. Josie Marin went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 2 hits. 2 runs, they're both earned, 3 walks and a strikeout. 32 pitches, 16 strikes thrown by Marin. She is responsible for the 3 runners on base. The 0-1 to Hevlin. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Sosa has a 3.18 ERA and a 3-0 record. This is her 9th appearance. She's pitched 22 innings, 28 hits, 12 runs, 10 earned, 6 walks, and 20 strikeouts. Opponent's batting .301. Against the UCLA transfer. The 1-1 is in there for a strike. Ball and 2 strikes now on Hevlin. Hevlin is 1 for 1, had a sac fly RBI in the first and a double in the third. Pruitt's on third, Papillo on second, Dukeshire on first. The 1-2, Hevlin with a ground ball to short. Edwards makes a stop and the throw in time to get Hevlin for out number 3 to retire the side. But Alabama takes the lead back as they get 2 runs in the inning off of 2 hits. There were no errors and 3 runners left. We've played 4, 5-4 Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We head to the top of the 5th inning. Alabama scores 2 in the home half of the 4th to take a 5-4 lead over Mississippi State. The 5th inning is presented by Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa. Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa is more than fast and more than signs. Request a free quote from Fast Signs for all your business visibility needs. Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa is a proud supporter of Crimson Tide softball. Hot Sauce takes a tumble after getting a big lead in the Taco Hot Sauce race, and Taco comes back to win that one. And on the doubleheader day, we split. Hot Sauce wins game 1, Taco wins game 2. And really one of the most important parts of any day here at the Rhodes House. 3-4-5 due up for Mississippi State here in the 5th. Sells, Blaine, and Edwards against Jocelyn Brisky. Back out now for her 5th inning of work. First pitch high for ball 1 as Alabama tries to keep the Bulldogs from responding. Alabama has responded both times Mississippi State has scored here in this game. The 1-0. High, 2 balls and no strikes. Sales is 0 for 1. Round out in the 1st, walked in the 3rd. Change defensively for Alabama. Riley Valentine is your new 3rd baseman, replacing Brooke Elistad. It's in there for a strike, 2-1. Tough day in the field for Brooke Elistad. Bama has 3 errors, and fortunately Elistad committed all 3 of them. 2-1 is low. 3 balls and a strike. Now on Kiara Sells. And a leadoff walk issued to the 3-hole hitter. Second walk of the day for Sales for Brisky. That's her 5th walk allowed. And here comes Patrick Murphy, and that might be the end of the day for Jocelyn Brisky. Bama baseball, they're heading to the bottom of the 1st inning. No score between Alabama and Texas A&M out in College Station. We are underway with the 3rd game of the day in the SEC men's basketball tournament. Florida has jumped out on Missouri. They're up, are the Gators 10-0. 17-24 left in the 1st half there. Jocelyn Brisky will now give way to the new pitcher for the Crimson Tide, making her first appearance here on the day is Ailey Johnson, the junior righty from Fairhope, Alabama, the transfer from LSU. Johnson has a 3.05 ERA and a 1-0 record, 13th appearance of the season. She has 1 save. She's pitched 18 in the 3rd innings, given up 15 hits, 10 runs, 8 earned, 8 walks, and 20 strikeouts. Opponents batting .208 against Johnson on the year. She pitched against South Alabama on Tuesday, when an inning, gave up 2 hits, 1 run, it was earned, no walks, and a strikeout. She'll come in replacing Jocelyn Brisky, who went 4 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 runs that are all unearned, 5 walks, and no strikeouts. 72 pitches and 38 strikes thrown by Brisky. Not her best stuff really in either of the 2 games, but her defense helped her out a lot in this ball game with a couple of double plays, but didn't help her with the 3 errors. So just a mixed bag for Jocelyn Brisky here today, but she will leave with a runner on first and nobody out here in the 5th inning, and Ailey Johnson will be the new pitcher. Jessie Blaine, the first batter she'll face, who's 0 for 1, walked in the 1st, grounded into a double play in the 3rd. The first pitch right in there for a called strike. And for Ailey Johnson, it's all about mixing the speeds. She has that devastating changeup, but she's got to get the fastball across for a strike, which she just did. And there's the changeup. No balls and 2 strikes now on Blaine. The 0-2 is low and inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Caitlin Riley and Emily Winstead both in the Bama bullpen. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Blaine down on strikes and a big first strikeout of the day by Ailey Johnson. And in this game, number 2, first strikeout by Bama pitching. And that will bring up Kylie Edwards. She's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly out. First pitch. Fouled away. 4 strike 1. That one comes in high, 1-1. They're on top of the 7th in Baton Rouge. LSU trying to finish off Kentucky. It's 4-1 Tigers. Bottom of the 4th, Auburn still with a 3-2 lead now over Texas A&M in College Station. The 1-1. Swung on and missed. Runner goes. The throw. Oh! Not quite in time with the tag. And Callie Hevlin pointed to the dugout. I'm wondering if Patrick Murphy was going to challenge that one. And he should. Yeah, I think he's going to. Salyn Hawkins wasn't sure, but that throw was absolutely perfectly placed to where the glove, the ball, and the foot of Sales all arrived at the same time, I think before Sales hit the bag. And Alabama is going to use a challenge here to try to get the out at second on the caught stealing. Georgia leads South Carolina 5-2. They're in the top of the 4th in Columbia. Tennessee beat UConn 9-1 in 5 innings. Ole Miss with a run rule win over Samford 10-0. And they're going to uphold the call. And I'm not sure how that's upheld, because it looked to me like Sells, unless they were saying Hawkins didn't have control of the ball yet when the tag was made. It's the only thing that they could say, because it definitely looked like the out was made. But call upheld, the 1-2. Edwards pops this up in foul ground. Valentine will try to catch up with it, but it bounces off the fence down the third base line. Count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Edwards. Riley needs to be ready. We know the ball finds a new girl every time. The 1-2, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-two pitch. Oh, just outside. The count's full, 3-2. Kaylee Young not winning a lot of friends here in Tuscaloosa. Payoff pitch. Change up, fouled away. We'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Another 3-2. High and away for ball 4. State now with runners on first and second with 1 out for the now pitcher, Lexi Sosa. Sosa walked in the second, popped out in the 4th. First pitch. We're right there for a called strike. The 0-1 is low. 1-1. Just got to find an out here for Alabama. The 1-1. Called strike on the inside corner, 1-2. I think that one missed the spot, but it was right over the inside edge. The 1-2 pitch. Change up low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Thought that might be enticing enough to get a swing, but Sosa held off. 2-2. Again, change up bounces away, and both runners will move up 60 feet into scoring position. And on the wild pitch, counts full, and the payoff. Liner to short, that's caught. They'll throw to third, double play! Salin Hawkins turns yet another double play on the line drive. Salin Hawkins goes down to her knees, catches it on the fly, throws to third. Sales was too far off, and the Crimson Tide holds on to the lead 5-4. For the Bulldogs here in the 5th, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We stretch in Tuscaloosa, have a sigh of relief, but the Tide needs more. It's 5-4 Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Alabama turns their 3rd double play of the ball game, this time a line drive double play, and the Crimson Tide hold on to a 5-4 lead as we head to the home half of the 5th inning. The 5th inning is presented by Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa. Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa is more than fast and more than signs. Request a free quote from Fast Signs for all your business visibility needs. Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa is a proud supporter of Crimson Tide softball. 5 runs on 9 hits, 3 errors, 6 left for Alabama. 4 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and 5 left for Mississippi State. 2 up for the Crimson Tide here in the 5th. 6, 7, 8. Be Valentine, Giles, and Hawkins. Riley Valentine came in as a defensive replacement last inning for Brooke Ellisad. Now we'll get an at-bat here. First pitch, bunted foul for strike 1. Valentine did not play in game number 1 for the season, batting .143, 4 of 28, 7 runs scored with 5 walks, and she's been hit 4 times. So a .351 OBP despite the batting average. The 0-1 almost hit her again. 1 ball, 1 strike. Called strike on the outside edge. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Valentine with a 2-hopper to third. Barbari's there. She makes a stop in the throw for out number 1. That will bring up Marley Giles. Giles 1 for 2, singled and scored in the fourth, with a fly out in the first. First pitch to Giles. High and outside, ball one. Elsewhere on the network, Alabama now with a 2-0 lead over Texas A&M. Off a 2-run homer by Hodo. Giles fouls that one off at the plate. Got a piece of everyone back there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Will Hodo, 2-run shot. Giles hammers this one foul. But out in front, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sun setting here in Tuscaloosa. Most of the field, maybe all of it now, in shade. Wind still blowing out to left. Lexi Sosa, her first full inning of relief for State. The 1-2. Giles with a ground ball to deep short. Stop made by Edwards. The throw's not going to be anywhere near in time. And Marley Giles with her second hit of the ball game. This one to deep short. Giles shakes her head at Caleb Rowe. Marley says something to the effect of, "I'll take it."
Shortstop number 47, Salem Hawkins.
So Marley Giles, a 2 for 3 day. She's on first with 1 out. For the Mississippi State transfer, Salem Hawkins. Hawkins 0 for 1. Grounded out in second, played down a sacrifice bunt in the fourth. First pitch, called strike. No, but Hawkins' glove has been big for Alabama so far here today. Instrumental in the double plays. The 0-1, Hawkins fouls that one away. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, runner on first. Alabama with a 5-4 lead as we play here in the home half of the 5th inning. Alabama trying to even up this series, splitting the doubleheader, making Sunday's matchup a rubber match. Hawkins fouls that one off. Mississippi State trying to win their first ever series here in Tuscaloosa. They won their 4th ever game here at Rhodes earlier today. The first time they ever run ruled Alabama in program history. The 0-2, that's a slow roller to short. Edwards charges in and makes the throw just in time to get Hawkins. Giles moves to second. There's now 2 away. Not hit hard enough for State to try to return the double play favor. Now 2 outs. Kristen White will be the batter. White 1 for 2, singled in the second, struck out in the fourth. First pitch hits the inside corner for a called strike. The 0-1 hits the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes now on White. No 2s outside, 1-2. Braylon Chafin is now in the Mississippi State bullpen. The fact that there is going to be a day off tomorrow would probably make her a little bit more available than she would be. White swings and misses at strike 3, and that'll do it for the Tide here in the 5th. Alabama gets a runner in scoring position but can't get her in here in the 5th inning. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We played 5. Bama with a 5-4 lead over Mississippi State here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Five for Alabama as we move to the top of the 6th inning. Due up for the Bulldogs here in the in the top of the 6th inning. It is the bottom of the order. Sells, Hull, and Styles, although Samantha Ricketts is talking things over with our umpire. May see Morgan Bernardini re-enter the ball game here to start things off, which we will. Bernardini is 1 for 2, rounded into a double play in the 2nd. Singled in the 4th, and her pinch runner, Sells, came in to score. So she'll lead things off here against Ailey Johnson, back out now for her 2nd inning of relief. Final line on Brisky. She went 4 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs that were all unearned, 5 walks and no strikeouts. So Bernardini will be the batter. First pitch. A little inside for ball 1. 5 runs on 10 hits, 3 errors, and 7 left for Alabama. 4 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and 5 left for Mississippi State. The 1-0 is low, 2 balls and no strikes. Bernardini fouls it away. 2-1. Two ones off the end of the bat. Johnson will field it. The underhand throw is in time for out number 1. Got Bernardini out in front of that changeup. Went right off the end of the bat down the first base line. Johnson was able to come out of the circle to make that stop. The underhand throws in time, and there's one gone. And we'll see a pinch hitter here for Mississippi State as Paige Ernstis will get another at-bat. In the situation in game number 1, she had a double. Her lone plate appearance. She's batting now .533 on the year, 8 of 15. Mostly as a pinch hitter. The first pitch is low for ball 1. Narcissus, a freshman from New Palestine, Indiana. The 1-0. Line through for a base hit into right field. And the reliable pinch hitter for Samantha Ricketts gets it done yet again here in the 6th. And she'll be replaced once again by Hull.
Re-entering for Mississippi State, number 4, Riley Hull. At the plate, second baseman, number 24, Morgan Styles.
So Hull now on first with 1 out for Morgan Styles, who's 1 for 2, had a 2 RBI double her last time up, came around to score, and the first pitch is in there for a called strike. One comes in high, 1 ball, 1 strike. right there. 1-2. One, two, swing and a miss. Strike three. Johnson's best changeup maybe of the season there. Sits down Styles, and there's 2 away. That one is in the devastating category as changeups go. But now back to the top of the order, Sierra Sacco. 2 for 2 on the day. 2 singles, a walk, an RBI, and a run scored. The first pitch is a called strike. Sacco has reached base every plate appearance here this doubleheader. The 0-1. Right there again, no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2. Ooh, just a little bit high. The fastball was a little bit taken off. The 1-2 in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two pitch. A little outside, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. After falling behind 0-2, Sacco has fought back to fill up the count here. Now the payoff pitch. Ground ball, slow roller to second. The throw from Hevlin is in time, and for the first time today, Sierra Sacco is retired, and that'll do it for Mississippi State here in the top of the 6th inning. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We move to the bottom of the 6th inning, 5-4 Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We move to the bottom of the 6th inning. Alabama with a 5-4 lead over Mississippi State. Due up for the Crimson Tide here in the 6th as they look for some insurance. Top of the order, Vandegrift, Pruitt, and Papillo. Lexi Sosa back out for another inning of relief for Mississippi State. Along with studio engineer Kai Jones and CTSN booth cam producer Ethan Carabin. I'm Tom Canterbury. That CTSN booth cam brought to you by MLB The Show 25. Available now for pre-order. Audrey Vandegrift will be the batter. 1 for 2 on the day. Singled in the first, had a fly out in the second, walked and scored in the 4th. First pitch from Sosa. Pulls back the bunt as Vandegrift. It's outside for ball 1. Vandegrift lines this one. Oh, it's just foul. Down the right field line, and Vandegrift would still be running if that one had been fair. Just missed extra bases. But it landed right at the feet of Bobby DeMeo down the first base line. It was foul. The 1-1. A little outside, 2 balls and a strike. That one floats in too low, and the count moves to 3-1. That one's lined to right, and that's down for a base hit. Vandegrift, her second hit of the day. Gets the leadoff man on here in the 6th inning. Final from Baton Rouge, LSU knocks off Kentucky in game 1 of that 3-game series. That final score of 4-1. Auburn still with a 3-2 lead over Texas A&M. They're in the top of the 6th. Larissa Pruitt to the plate. First pitch. Called strike. They're heading to the bottom of the 5th inning in Columbia, South Carolina. Georgia with a 6-2 lead over South Carolina. Ole Miss leads North Dakota State 4-1, bottom of the 4th. And bottom of the 1st, no score between UConn and Tennessee. Our Out of the Box podcast scoreboard update. Michigan and Missouri coming up in just a little bit in the Mizzou Invitational in Columbia, Missouri. The 0-1. Marissa with a pop-up and foul ground, third base side. And sticking with it, making the catch in foul ground. Falling down is Barbary. That will give Vandegrift the opportunity to tag up from first and head to second. So unconventional, productive out for Larissa Pruitt there.
Designated player number 31, Alexis Papillo.
So 1 out now for Papillo with a runner on second. Papillo 1 for 2, singled and scored in the 1st, had an RBI walk in the 4th. First pitch is in there for a called strike. It was back-to-back RBI walks issued by Josie Marin that gave Alabama the 5-4 lead that they currently enjoy. Papillo, fly ball to right, on the run in the gap to make the catch is Sells, but tagging up from second and heading to third is Vandegrift. Papillo hit that one on the screws, but unfortunately not enough behind it.
First baseman number 10, Abby Dukeshire.
2 outs now with a runner on third for Abby Dukeshire. Patrick Murphy calls timeout to talk with Dukeshire and Callie Hevlin. Duke's 1 for 2, singled and scored in the 1st, fouled out in the 3rd, and had the RBI walk in the 4th. This inning brought to you by the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app. Keep up with everything Alabama with the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app, presented by Cadence Bank. Download it now for free at the App Store and Google Play. Murph's discussion has wrapped up, and Hevlin now talks with Dukeshire for a moment. And now Abby's ready to go. Big insurance run, 60 feet away. Bama leads at 5-4 here in the home half of the 6th. And the first pitch. Right in there for a called strike. Timeout called by Blaine. Now we're ready to go. The 0-1. Dukeshire unloads on this one to deep left field. Way back! Way gone! You could see Abby Dukeshire load up on that one, got exactly the pitch she wanted, and drills it over the left field wall, and there's the insurance the Tide was looking for. 2-run shot, and the Crimson Tide leads it 7-4. 3 RBI day for Abby Dukeshire. For Duke, that is her 3rd home run of the season, and she now has 14 runs driven in. Which will now bring up Callie Hevlin. First pitch in there for a called strike. Hevlin 1 for 2, a sac fly RBI in the first, a double in the third, and a ground out in the fourth. The 0-1, Hevlin with a fly ball to center. Sacco is there, she will make the catch for out number 3 to retire the side. But Alabama adds to their lead here in the 6th inning off a 2-run homer by Abby Dukeshire. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, nobody left. We head to the 7th inning, the last chance for Mississippi State. It's Alabama 7, Mississippi State 4 here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We head to the 7th inning, the last chance for Mississippi State. Alabama with a 7-4 lead over the Bulldogs. Due up for State here in the 7th inning. It is 2-3-4. Barbary, Sells, and Blaine. Haley Johnson back out here for her 3rd inning of relief, looking to pick up a save.
Thank you for coming out tonight to celebrate our union between the SEC and
With
Alabama.
Nadia Barbary to lead things off. 1 for 3 on the day with a single and an RBI. 7 runs on 12 hits, 3 errors, and 7 left for Bama. For State, 4 runs on 6 hits, no errors, and 6 left. Bama trying to even up this series at 1 game apiece before Sunday's, what Alabama is hoping is a rubber match. Barbary will step in. And the first pitch, a little inside for ball 1. Low 2-0. Attention Tide fans in North Alabama and all over the state. The New Wave meet and greet with Ryan Williams and Jalen Mbakwe has been rescheduled for Saturday, March 29th at Sand Mountain Park and Amphitheater in Albertville, Alabama. 2-0 pitch, 3-0. Ryan and Jalen will now be at Sand Mountain Park from 2 to 3 p.m. on Saturday, March 29th to meet Bama fans, sign autographs, and pose for photos. Mark your calendars for this new date. 3-0. Right in there for a strike, 3-1. If you're Alabama here, the goal for Haley Johnson, keep the tying run in the on-deck circle at most. 3-1. Soft liner to short. Hawkins is there. She'll make the catch for out number 1. We'll bring up the right fielder, Kiara Sells. Sells is 0 for 1 The ground out and a couple of walks. First pitch. Change up in there for a strike. The 0-1. Same spot, same result. 0-2. The 0-2 pitch comes in high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2. Check your swing. Got a piece that fouls it off. We'll do it again, 1-2. Sales was fooled there by the change and just kind of left her bat over the plate, hoping that the ball would hit it, which it did. 1-2, high and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two. That one's popped up, foul ground, third base side. Valentine will not be able to catch up with it. It's actually a row deep back behind the Bama dugout, and a nice catch made by a Bama fan. Two. Right in there for a called strike 3. Sales was not looking for the fastball in the inside corner. That's what she got. And Mississippi State is down to their final out here in the 7th. I mean, just right there. Jesse Blaine, the last chance for Mississippi State. First pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Way out in front of the changeup. Blaine's 0 for 2 with a walk, a double play, and a strikeout. The 0-1. A little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike. One. Comes in high, 2-1. Two-1 pitch, swung on and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mississippi State down to their final strike. Crowd to their feet here at the Rhodes House. 2-2. Misses a touch outside, a little bit high, and the count's full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The payoff. Blaine pops it up, foul ground. It will get out of play. We'll do it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Giles will come out and talk things over with Johnson real quickly. Now another 3-2. Low and inside for ball 4, and Blaine draws the walk to keep the game going. Tying run still in the on-deck circle as Kylie Edwards will step up.
Number 67, Kylie Edwards.
Edwards 0 for 2. A ground out in the first, a fly out in the 4th, and a walk in the 5th. First pitch. Low for ball 1. Here's a strike, 1-1. and a miss. Johnson blows it by her at 67 miles an hour. And once again, State down to their final strike. Crowd to their feet. The 1-2. Change up, fouled away. Got Edwards out in front, but she was able to slow down her swing enough to foul it off. We'll do it again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two is in the dirt. Two. Edwards fouls that one off. Recognized the change late and spoiled it foul. Does it again now, 2-2. 2-2 pitch. That's a well-hit ball to deep left field. Ranging over is Vandergriff, and she will make the catch on the warning track for out number 3. And that will do it for Mississippi State here in the 7th. Your final score, Alabama 7, Mississippi State 4. Here in the 7th inning, State gets no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. With the win, Alabama improves to 21-8 overall, 1-1 in conference play. Mississippi State falls to 23-5, They are now 4-1 in SEC play. The winning pitcher is Jocelyn Brisky, as she is now 9-6 on the year. Ailey Johnson picks up her 2nd save of the season. Josie Marin takes the loss for Mississippi State. She's now 2-4. 7 runs on 12 hits, 3 errors, and 7 left for Alabama. For State, 4 runs on 6 hits, no errors, 7 runners left on base. Alabama evens up this series as Alabama and Mississippi State split the doubleheader. And on Sunday, it'll be a rubber match for the series victory. We'll take a timeout, come back with the Alabama softball postgame report right after this. Alabama's a winner. Final score 7-4 over Mississippi State here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. It's granted by the University of Alabama. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of the University of Alabama and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the University of Alabama. The Crimson Tide splits a doubleheader with Mississippi State as they win 7-4 here in game number 2, improving to 1-1 in conference play. Mississippi State suffers their first conference loss. They are now 4-1 as the Crimson Tide gets 2 big insurance runs by Abby Dukeshire, who had the final 3 RBIs of the ball game, and the Crimson Tide wins by a final score of 7-4. Here are the final stats from today's ball game. We'll start with Mississippi State. They're now 23-5 overall, 4-1 in SEC play. Got a run in the first and 3 in the fourth for their 4 runs on 6 hits, no errors, and 7 left. Sierra Sacco was 2 for 3 with a walk, an RBI, and a run scored. Nadia Barbary was 1 for 4 with an RBI. Kiara Sells was 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Jessie Blaine 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Kylie Edwards 0 for 3 with a walk. Lexi Sosa was 0 for 2 with a walk. Morgan Bernardini was 1 for 3. Kalani Sales is a pinch runner, scored a run. Riley Hull was 0 for 2 with a run scored. Paige Ernstis was 1 for 1. Morgan Stiles was 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. In the circle, Delaney Everett got the start, went 3 innings. 7 hits, 3 runs, all earned, no walks and no strikeouts. 45 pitches, 32 strikes thrown by Everett. Josie Marin went 2/3 of an inning and took the loss. She's now 2-4. 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 3 walks and a strikeout. 32 pitches, 16 strikes thrown by Marin. And Lexi Sosa went the final 2 1/3. Gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, no walks and a strikeout. 33 pitches and 26 strikes thrown by Sosa. For Alabama, they improved to 21-8 with the victory, 1-1 in SEC play. 3 runs in the first, 2 in the fourth, and 2 in the sixth for their 7 runs on 12 hits, 3 errors, and 7 runners left on base. Alabama was able to respond both times Mississippi State scored here in this ball game, and then added those 2 extra in the 6th inning. Audrey Vandergriff was 2 for 3 with a walk and 2 runs scored. Larissa Pruitt 2 for 4 with a run scored. Lex Papillo was 1 for 3 with a walk, an RBI, and a run scored. Abby Dukeshire 2 for 3 with a walk, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs scored, including a 2-run homer. Callie Hevlin was 1 for 3 with an RBI. Brooke Elstad 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs, had a 2 RBI triple in the first inning. Riley Valentine was 0 for 1. Marley Giles 2 for 3 with a run scored. Salyn Hawkins was 0 for 2. Kristen White was 1 for 3. In the circle, Jocelyn Brisky got the win. She's now 9-6 on the year. 4 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, all unearned, 5 walks, and no strikeouts. 72 pitches and 38 strikes thrown by Brisky, and Ailey Johnson gets the save. That's her 2nd of the season. 3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. 60 pitches, 34 strikes thrown by Johnson. Time of the game, 2 hours and 10 minutes, 3,465 of the best softball fans in the country paid to see it as Alabama gets the win here in game number 2 of the doubleheader, splits it with Mississippi State by a final score of 7-4. And in this ball game, it was great to see Alabama. They did things that will usually end up getting you beat in ball games, and things Alabama will have to clean up as they move forward here in this season. But committing 3 errors and walking 7 batters, usually not a recipe for success, especially in SEC play. They were able to get it done, though, here today. They took what Marin gave them when she came in relief, had trouble finding the strike zone, took a couple of RBI walks, and then got the big home run by Abby Dukeshire in the 6th inning to put this one away. And a great performance in relief by Ailey Johnson as she came in for the final 3 innings to pick up the save. And her changeup and hard stuff combination was as good today as we've seen all season long, and that's the Ailey Johnson we're going to need to see moving forward here in SEC play. And it was just a really good performance. Overall, overcame some difficulties, again, with the errors and the walks, but Alabama came away with a win, got what you had to do offensively, got the split here today, and now you have an opportunity to get a series victory to start things off in SEC play against a really good Mississippi State team, and that game will be coming up on Sunday. That's going to do it for this broadcast. The Bama Softball Postgame Report. The Vice President and General Manager of the Crimson Tide Sports Network is Jim Carabin. The CTSN Booth Cam producer is Ethan Carabin, and our studio engineer has been Kai Jones. For everyone here at the Crimson Tide Sports Network, I'm Tom Canterbury saying thank you for joining us as Alabama gets a 7-4 win over Mississippi State. Tuning in on Sunday for the series finale between the Tide and the Bulldogs. First pitch is set for 1:30. We'll be on the air at 1:15. Until then, stay